Good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of all the members of SNBNCBS National Center for Basic Sciences, we extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests and our valued participants to this special occasion of inauguration of SNBNCBS Astronomical Observatory site. SNBNCBS National Center for Basic Sciences, an autonomous research institute established in the year 1986 under Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, to honor the life and work of Professor S.N. Bose, one of the founding fathers of quantum mechanics. In 1926, Professor Satyendranath Bose authored the seminal paper on Bose-Einstein condensation and Bose-Einstein statistics. We just finished 100th year last year of that paper, and this might be the best time to inaugurate this observatory after his name. So, observational astronomy is one of the major topics of research focus of SNBNCBS National Center for Basic Sciences. At present, the center has 3 observational astronomers as faculty members: Professor Somen Mandal, Dr. Ramkrishna Das, and myself, Dr. Tapos Bal, who are handling this project. The journey of this project started about a decade ago, and today is the day when the site is getting recognized officially. We thank the members of Sidhu Kanu Bisra University for their continuous support and help. We also thank the local administration, DN, former and current CCFs and DFOs for their continuous support in this project. And with this, now the time has come for the inaugural event. Let us first introduce our esteemed guest. We are fortunate to have with us Sri Biswajit Sahai, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. He is also in charge of Department of Biotechnology and the Ministry of Earth Sciences. I request Sri Biswajit Sahai to kindly come on stage. Please seated. We are pleased to have with us Professor B.N. Jagtap, the chairperson of governing body of SNBNCBS National Center for Basic Sciences. He has been associated with the Department of Physics, IIT Bombay, and Bhabha Atomic Research Center. I request Professor Jagtap to kindly come up on the stage. We are also fortunate to have with us Professor Pavitra Kumar Chakraborty, the Vice Chancellor of Sidhu Kanu Bisra University. I request Professor Chakraborty to come on the stage. We are happy to have with us Mr. Vivek Pankaj, Sri Vivek Pankaj, the Sub-Divisional Officer, Raghunathpur. I request Sri Vivek Pankaj to come up on the stage. Finally, I would like to invite Professor Tanushree Saha, the Director of SNBNCBS National Center for Basic Sciences, to the stage. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Now, I would like to request the Director of SNBNCBS National Center for Basic Sciences, Professor Tanushree Saha, to felicitate Sri Biswajit Sahai. I request Sumana Mukherjee and Aman Das to bring the flower bouquet, Victoria, and the hamper on behalf of the center.
And this is
This
small.
hamper containing our annual report, calendars, and
Yeah,
diaries.
and I think they will take.
Yeah. Now I request again our director, Professor Tanushree Saha, to felicitate Professor B.N. Jagtap. I request Neelanjana Sarkar and Alipur Haq to bring the hamper and flower bouquet and the Victoria. I again request our director to select Professor Chakraborty, the Vice Chancellor of SKPU, with the bouquet of with the flower, and I request Moitri Mukuti and Punit Kundu to bring the flower and the. Now I request Dr. Ramkrishna Das to felicitate Sri Vivek Pankaj. And I request Barnali Pal and Rajiv Kumbhakar to bring the flower bouquet, Victoria, and hamper. And I again request Dr. Das to felicitate Dr. Tanushi Sadas. I request Sumana Mukherjee and Sushant Sutrogar to come up on the dais with the bouquet and the hamper. Thank you very much to all of you. Now I request all the dignitaries to kindly step down from the dais and be seated in your designated area because the inauguration, virtual inauguration will start.
It was longer than you. It was 7 hours. So
Please settle down. Now I would like to invite Professor Tanushi Sahadas Bhutto, Director of SNBNCBS National Center for Basic Sciences, to deliver the opening remarks.
Very good afternoon. My respect and renown to all the dignitaries present in this audience, specifically Shahaji, who is the finance advisor of our department. He has come all the way from Delhi. Professor Jagtap, who is the chairman of our governing body, he has come all the way from Bombay. We have the Vice Chancellor, Sir Purulia Chakraborty, who has not traveled all the way, but I know he has a very busy schedule. And we also have with us SDO Raghunath Fort, and he has been to our site, and he said that he will definitely attend this program. We discussed about it long back, so I'm very happy to have you here. We have with us also the students, my affection to you, and all the media personnel who are here, my really, I thank all of you to be present here today. Today is a special day for SNBNCBS Center because we started this journey long back. Actually, my predecessor, Professor Purulia Chaudhary, he took this initiative that observatory has to be set up, and a resolution was passed in the governing body 2012, and I found the resolution was signed by the governing body chairman that time, who was also the DST secretary, namely Dr. Ramaswamy. I saw the signed resolution. And the resolution said the following, that this area, there is a natural interest for astrophysics among the students. So this region has a great manpower that needs to be trained. And this region, the eastern region of India, lacks an observatory. So that was the kind of background with that it started. And it's a long journey. As you all know, that nothing is simple when you take such a mission. So when the resolution was passed in 2012, finally the land was handed over in 2018. And I found there were 3 stages, and there will be a small video played where all the details will be given. So 2018, the land was handed over, and in 2019 end, we were already hit by COVID. So not much progress happened during this time. So I took over in 2021, and I found not much progress has been made, and I thought this should be actually one of the first area of SNBNCBS Center. And then I discovered, because I'm an academician, a physicist, and also not an observational astrophysicist, so I had no idea how much struggle one has to make to set up an observatory. There were so many different struggles. There is struggle of access road. Those of you who will join us tomorrow, you will see the challenge. There was challenge of a building that will house. There was challenge of having an expertise, because building up of an astronomical observatory actually needs a lot of engineering. And as has been already said, we are critical, subcritical. We have only 3 people. So then I thought it might be better idea to start in a smaller scale. In fact, in the resolution that I read of the governing body, that was exactly what it was proposed. Because first you need to characterize the site, and that exactly has not been done. So what we did first, we set up a weather station to be shown in the video 2022. Then we bought a mobile observatory. Since we cannot make a building, we don't have money, we don't have the necessary infrastructure. We got a mobile observatory, and in that mobile observatory, we installed a 12-inch telescope. And this year meaning the year just left, in December 2024, we have installed a 14-inch telescope. So with that, measurements are going on, and some of the data will be shown to you. And the astrophysicists, they have a kind of seeing criteria, and my astrophysics colleagues, they have told me the seeing criteria, as part that the goodness of the site is as good as any of the observatory in India, like in Purulia or in Mount Abu. I went through all the art parts that kind of thing, and that is my impression. They can correct me if I'm saying anything wrong, but they will show all the detailed data. So that means the site is perfectly ready for an observatory to be built. And definitely we would like to have it, take it to a bigger scale, and that's the mission we have started with. But since this smaller scale goals in some way has been achieved, I thought this would be a perfect time to really have this opening. So we have faced lots and lots of hurdles. I'm not going to elaborate on those hurdles. There are many more hurdles to be really crossed. And it's not a simple hurdle. But with all of you joining hand, I'm absolutely sure we will be successful. We have as a very strong tie-up as a partner in this entire thing is Shidukanu Visha University, where the event is taking place. And I thought it would be absolutely good idea to have a networking with the local university. That's why the MOU was signed with Shigutani University in 2022. And we are very fortunate. We are getting some of the intern students from them. We are getting even some PhD students who have joined our Astro group from Shigutani University. And not only that, we have made a best camp. Those of you who will go to the site, they will see tomorrow. And actually, the person who is working there is a product of Shilukana University. So I feel we have been greatly benefited by the collaboration with Shilukana University. And we are also actually preparing this area, as many of you know, is surrounded by the scheduled tribe villages. So we are planning to submit a proposal to DSTC, and there it's a tripartite collaboration. We are foreseeing is one with Shilukani Vishwa as a partner, SNBO Center as a partner, and IBRAD. I'm very happy that Shaktima is here. So that's the NGO who are working with specifically with Bakura and Purulia. So I'm absolutely sure if we join hands with so many people and your good wishes, we will achieve it. Thank you very much, and once again, welcome to this event.
Thank you very much, Professor Sadhu Gupta, for this opening remarks and general overview of the project. Now I'd like to invite Professor B.N. Jagtap, the chairman of our governing body, for him to speak.
Honorable Vishwajit Sai, FADSD, who has taken time from the busy schedule and Delhi visiting this remote place. Thank you very much. Professor Padita Kumar Chakravarti, Vice Chancellor of this university. Well, I've been hearing about you and this university for providing a very strong support to this activity. Thank you very much. Sri Vivek Pankaj, that I met you today only, but please take care of this project of this university and SNBO Center, and Professor Tanushree Dasgupta. Well, in the governing body of SNBO's National Center, every meeting this question will come, what is happening in the observatory? And every time we used to discuss, and he used to provide all the details. And we're so happy that it is progressing. And today, I'm indeed extremely happy to be here that this tree is, to an extent, has come through. And distinguished invitees, students, and faculty members. Well, astronomy indeed forms an important aspect of science and in particular physics. I remember that I used to get puzzled in India, but also in North America. There are departments of physics and there are some department of physics and astronomy. So I used to keep wondering, is astronomy not physics? But in the physics department, you have astronomy also. So I asked this question to my professor in the United States. He said, look, this is an interesting question. The physics is a very dry subject. Like chemistry, there are a lot of colors here and there, the student can be attracted. What about physics? So our old people they thought if you can connect astronomy, then students can see something in the skies. So they specifically named it as physics and astronomy. That is to create interest in the students to join physics. And it worked very well in the earlier times. Now we talk about quantum, right? Quantum, that is what is true, what is for attracting students to the physics. And it's indeed true that astronomy really formed the basics of physics. All those observations gave rise to the classical physics. And not only that, I mean, there are some students here, there are teachers here, very inspiring stories. You know, there was a school teacher in Switzerland. He looked at the hydrogen spectrum from the sun and arranged it in a series, the Balmer. He was a school teacher. And that is what gave rise to the Balmer series and then lot number of series in the spectrum. And that ultimately gave rise to the birth of quantum mechanics. So the entire thing is so. And therefore, this is a good opportunity, unique opportunity for the university and also for SNBNCBS Center to take this idea of astrophysics and the entire physics to the student community in this area. And that's going to create a, that's extremely important. And the schools and colleges in the nearby areas, they should take students to watch these objects. This is very important. Yeah, I come from, earlier I used to work in Department of Atomic Energy, and we used to make it a point that the students in the around area should visit our nuclear reactors so that right at the stage they get some training and they hear about everything about radiation and stuff. At the same time, there are many more opportunities for the university and she has been talking about uh, some programs and we have been discussing it. One of the things she has been talking about is astrophysics. See, when you establish some observatory or some institute in a particular place, the local people also should get benefit. This should goes beyond the student community. What is that the local okay? So if you can do the astrophysics is one a good idea and I certainly can approach DST and they will give this. There is another important area that is director referred to some NGO being here. See, I'm hearing so many caps. One of the caps is an Indian knowledge system. Now, these tribal areas have their own knowledge system they have developed over the years. And that has to be understood and scientifically validated. And that's the job of the universities. See, I chair a committee on scientifically validated traditional Indian knowledge. And if you can do that, look, it has got great value. And so this is what we should be doing. And certainly this area would have a lot of traditional knowledge which has not been explored so far. And also under DST, there is a National Innovation Foundation. They take up this, some of the issues of the traditional knowledge and try to see whether it can be taken forward. So there also you can contribute a lot. So there are plenty of opportunities now we have. The university, SNBNCBS Center and observatory and all that thing we can do. So I hope that next time we visit here, there will be not many ideas that will crystallize. And I wish all the best to SNBNCBS National Center and also to the university that many of these things should be put into practice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Jagtap, for these inspiring words. Now, the moment has come for the official inauguration. I request again Professor Jagtap, the chairman of the governing body of SNBNCBS National Center for Basic Sciences, for virtual inauguration of the SNBNCBS Astronomical Observatory site by clicking a remote control. Please come.
Let's wait for that.
Please. 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 I mean, it's just a press, but we should be all here. Please,
It's
Vivek, please.
okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe we can, please, Professor Chakra. Yeah. Why don't you play it once more, or if it is possible to, just freeze it there. Freeze it there. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite the Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor of Department of Science and Technology, Sri Sir, to say a few words.
Dr. Jagtap, Chairman of the Governing Council of SNBNCBS Institute. Mr. Chakravarti, Vice Chancellor of the Sidhu Kano Visha University. The Director of SNBNCBS Institute, Dr. Saha, Anushni Saha, Dasgupta, and my young colleague, the Sub-Divisional Officer of Raghunathpur. So it's and all my young friends and colleagues from the institute and the university. It's a great pleasure and privilege to be here. I've been talking about this off and on with the director, Dr. Kanushri, and she's been very enthusiastic about it. Every time she's been telling me that she's doing this, and she will call me as well. So when finally she called me, there was a bit of a crisis created by DST and the Finance Ministry in Delhi. And I very helplessly called her up to say that, look, I'll have to give this a go by because of X, Y, and Z. But she put her foot down and said that, no, you have to come because you got your name on the plaque. Now, that was a real problem. So I made all kinds of other compromises, put other people in charge of the crisis, and I'm still managing with the phone. But so that is how I'm here, and thank God I'm here. One is that I'm away from the madness that engulfs all of us in Delhi, especially the bureaucracy. And it's nice to breathe freely and free open air, good clean air. Purulia. So all this is very nice. The weather is very nice. So one of the things that I find in DST, which I keep telling my other colleagues, is that we seem to be working too much with the IITs and other premier institutions. And I keep telling them that we have to look at ways of funding universities, especially in slightly somewhat more way off places. I don't want to use the word remote, but definitely in slightly more poorly connected places, way off places. I keep telling them. And I was very happy to know that we have a FIS program which is running here and a couple of other programs that are running here. So when Director SNBNCBS Institute told me that she's got this going with the Sidhu Kano Visha University, I was very excited. And it's a matter of great pleasure and privilege for me to be here, and I genuinely mean it. I just would like to reiterate some of the points that the chairman of the governing council has made. One of the things, of course, being that I had the privilege of going to Hanle in Ladakh with one of our other institutions, the Indian Institute of Astrophysics. They have set up, and the state government has notified that as a dark sky reserve and all that. So maybe that's something at some point of time, Vivek, you can look at as to how, you can work the papers, you can at least start some kind of spade work so that a similar, similar kind of, what should I say, recognition is given to this center once it is up and about. But I just leave this thought with you. And it's not you, maybe your successors will look at it. But that's something which is very good, where the state government has collaborated. Professor Jagtap mentioned something about the local communities. So there, the Indian Institute of Astrophysics has been able to involve the local communities, the local villages, both in terms of tourism and astronomy. So they have actually been taught the basics, and they're quite conversant with the very basic science that a tourist needs to know. They've been made conversant with that. So I thought that was a very good step, and that's something for the future. Since in the eastern part, as the director of Bose Institute, SN Bose Institute said that since this is the first such facility which has come up in the eastern part of the country, and this is in a fairly way off place, I think that's something that is a pointer to the future and something we should look at. Uh, Professor Jagtap also mentioned about local students, and so I would say not only the Sidhu Kano University, Sidhu Kano Besha University, but also your namesake university in Jharkhand, in Dumka, the Sidhu Kano Murmu University, the Ranchi University, and other universities which are close by. If they can also be involved, it would be a great thing. The center, eventually, I think the center should run with the help of the local university, because the way recruitments, etc., in Government of India are, it's not going to be very easy for SN Bose Institute to actually find too much manpower, except for project staff, for running this place. But to really make it viable, self-sustaining, and it should be developed as some kind of a hub for this part, and universities in the vicinity should be involved in partnership. And it would be a good idea for MOUs to be entered into with some of the other universities that I mentioned, and the many more that which are here. I think it would be a very good thing to eventually reach that point. I'm not saying it can be reached today. We've made a beginning. The site has been inaugurated. Tomorrow we'll be visiting the site as well. So it's a great opportunity. I would just like to mention that again, with the Indian Institute of Astrophysics, the finance minister of the Government of India, through her MP-led funds, is setting up a planetarium in Mysore. That's with the Mysore University, and that's coming up in Mysore. But that's a planetarium. But what I wanted to point out was that it's a planetarium. This is going to be state of the art. There's an investment of about 125 crores, which is going to go into it. There is some funds coming from the MP lag, but the large portion of the funding is by the Department of Science and Technology and the Department of Atomic Energy, which is also putting in funds. And there are some funds coming from the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor. So what I wanted to just emphasize was that a lot of thinking is going on in this direction, and the astronomy has become quite a buzzword, and a lot of work is happening in this direction. Some of you may be aware, India is a part of the 30-meter telescope project, which is coming up in Hawaii. And in fact, a site visit was made a year ago. Of course, there are local issues, but there also, even in the US, the issue is that the local community did not feel involved in the project, and they objected to it, which is why it has lingered on for the last 8-10 years, even though it was conceived way back in 2012-13. But we've still not been able to, because the local community could not be convinced, and now efforts are being made to convince the local community to come on board. So the involvement of the local community, involvement of the students, the student fraternity in here and in the nearby areas is of paramount importance, and I just wanted to say this to underline that. And I also wanted to, the example of Mysore that I was giving, I also wanted to emphasize the importance that this is being given now, and the large number of projects that are now being executed, both by Department of Space, Department of Science and Technology, and the others in this direction. So, so I think the site, I'm told, has been selected with great care, and because of its elevation, because of its especially in the months from April to November, with the relatively less humidity, etc. So I'm sure the site has been selected with a lot of care. Um, the Panchet, the three dams on the river Damodar, of course, we all, we've read about all of them, and it's a matter of privilege that we are here, near here now, where we'll be going up to the site tomorrow. So the cooperation from the university is welcome, and I really hope that we continue to work in this direction and keep the cooperation going. It's very important for the project, otherwise things are likely to flounder. So I wish this endeavor all the success, and cooperation between a national institute and a state university is the most desirable outcome. I think the director SN Bose Institute, I would like to thank her for inviting me for this. I'm privileged to be invited for this function, and I mean it. And I also thank the VC and the management of the Sidhu Birsa University for all their logistic support. So thank you, and all the best for this wonderful project. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite Professor Purulia Chakraborty, to Vice Chancellor of Sidhu Birsa University, to share his thought with us.
Very good afternoon to you all. Here all the dignitaries are here, and in the dais, which I have served, Mr. Vishwajit Sawai, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor, DST Government of India, New Delhi, and Professor B.N. Jagtap, Chairman, Governing Body, SN Bose National Center for Basic Sciences, Kolkata, and Professor Sri Shahadatul Dasgupta, Director of SN Bose, and Vivek Pankaj, I, Subdivisional Officer, Raghunathpur, Purulia, and also faculty members of Sidhu Birsa University, and also my registrar and other dignitaries of this inaugural ceremony. Actually, the proposal, which has already been, considered in this inauguration, it's a very interesting part so far as Sidhu Birsa University is concerned. Actually, whenever we are doing anything, everything should be student-centric. First of all, we should think about the students. I think the installation of such a telescope nearby Sidhu Birsa University, particularly the astronomical telescope, would be very interesting for all the students, not only of Sidhu Birsa University, but also all the, people of Purulia and nearby district. You know, astronomy and astrophysics is a very classical subject. And we can remember the name of Galileo. And Galileo had sacrificed his life for the determination of truth. And actually, that time, the truth was not properly established. And Galileo was the first scientist who had established the truth, that science can explore the truth. And that we are searching for. And installation of such a telescope, I think, again, established that without verification through science, we cannot accept anything. And not only this, if we ask that scientist, famous scientist, and only one man, if I ask any students, just name one man in the field of science, everybody will mention the name of Einstein. And also Einstein dedicated himself to for the relativity and general theory of relativity. The astronomical part is the experimental part of science, of astronomy, experimental part. And there are another part is theoretical part. And for this experimental part view, clean sky and pollution-free area is necessary. I think this area, which had already been selected by the director and other scientist of our country is a very good choice. And I think this telescope will serve something to establish or to get some new things in the field of physics and astronomy. Another thing, Purulia is little bit a, I mean, distant from Kolkata and so on. And the students are not so much acquainted with the latest development. And most of them, their aims and objectives are not defined. So as a university, we should, I mean, direct themselves so that they can get the path ahead. And this telescope its installation will be the message for the students. So science can give them the way. Most of other students, particularly in the MSc level, are being frustrated because of the job opportunities. Because today's the picture is not very good for us. Students are not being attracted for the higher education, particularly in the general line. Physics, chemistry are not being obtained by the good students. We should think about it. Because if it is so, then it will be disaster. Because research on fundamental subject and experimental purview is highly necessary. And Department of Science and Technology had taken so many initiatives to promote the science and technology of our country. And we have to reach the science and technology to the every corner of our society. Otherwise, we cannot upgrade ourselves. We cannot upgrade ourselves. So science and technology can only the way by which we can develop our nation. So any sort of initiation which had already been taken by the SNBNCBS National Center, I think it would be very good for the nation. And we should have to direct the students that general line would be the best choice, because without research on fundamental subject, which is particularly in the fundamental science, that the country cannot be reached on a firm footing. So it is highly necessary. Otherwise, we cannot develop our country. So to develop the country, we have to train each and every corner of our country. And science can be reached each and every corner of the society, of our country. And the scientists like Satyendranath Bose, famous theoretical physicist, and he could be awarded so many Nobel Prizes we have already known. So on the name of SN Bose, I think the initiation of installation of observatory, astronomy and astrophysics will give you the path so that our students can be motivated. So we can take our students to the site, and also you, the local people, and also we can tag with the local tourism, which had already been mentioned. Because in my previous university, Boston University, we have a good planetarium. And I was in charge of the planetarium. And so many awareness programs can be initiated from the planetarium. So as you have mentioned in your speech, that planetarium funding can be processed through central government fund. So we can have also the opportunity to establish a good planetarium. So that local based tourism can be established, particularly in this area, so that the local people can also be motivated to enrich themselves, so that the backward classes of people can be nurtured through science. Because we have to take away the superstition, and science can only give you the path away. And also on 12th January, very soon, is the Vivekananda's birthday, and Vivekananda's vision is to promote the country as a whole. Otherwise, we cannot develop ourselves. So we have to, so this is a very, I think, right choice. And on behalf of Chidukoli Vista University, I'm really thankful. And on behalf of me, I would like to convey my best regards and thanks to all of you to, select the choice which is very near to our university. And I think it would be a very successful project, And also, the output of the project will teach them, will give the lesson to the remaining parts of the country so that our people and our nation would be benefited in future. I wish a grand success of this project. Thank you all for your kind presence.
Thank you very much, Professor Chakraborty, for the encouraging words. Now, I would like to invite Shri Vivek Pankaj, Sub-Divisional Officer, Raghunathpur, to kindly share his thoughts with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, on behalf of Purulia District Administration, I would first like to welcome Mr. Vishwaji Sahai, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor to the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. I would also like to welcome Professor B.N. Jagtap, Chairman, Governing Body, Second SN Bose, National Center for Basic Sciences, Kolkata. I would also like to welcome Professor Tanushree Das Gupta, Director, SN Bose, National Center for Basic Sciences. And I would also like to welcome Professor Pavitra Kumar Chakrabarti, Vice Chancellor, SKV University. Um, I'm on. I'm here not just on behalf of Purulia District Administration, but also uh, with a genuine interest in science. I've been with ma'am to the Panchayat Hill with this aim only to see how the astronomical observatories is going to be set up. What would be the technical specifications of that? So I was wanted to know what kind of observatories will be setting up at that point. Ma'am told me that this observatory would be having a 1.5 meter diameter telescope, which will give a resolution of around 1.4 arc second. As many of the faculty that is there from the physics department and from the astronomy who are interested in astronomy must be knowing this Rayleigh limit, which defines the what would the resolution power of the telescope. So with a 1.4 arc second, I was it was kind of a remarkable kind of thing as with this telescope would be working on the optical and infrared ranges of the spectrum. So a 1.4 arc second would be like it will be showcasing less than 1.4 arc second, but since it would be working from the infrared region, so I calculated like with regard that formula method with lambda eta equal to 1.22 into lambda by d. So it came around something which 5630 nanometer infrared range it was able to provide. So with less than 1 arc second, it was a very kind of monumental thing. If like so I was also genuinely interested to visit with you at that site and to see how the telescope would be working and to know what kind of things that we can learn from it. And uh, I've been told to give this speech with regard to socio-economic development, but I will be focusing more on this aspect since this was my as a student of science, this was my interest also.
You should have been a physicist.
At the time of giving choices for the college students, at that time we didn't know what stream to choose in. So at 11th or 12th, we were studying this PCM. So we got to I was at that in my mind I was wanted to do something in physics. So at that point, some our seniors told me like choose this mechanical engineering side. So I took that mechanical engineering. So we did. But after getting into college, I got interested in this physics and mathematics. So wasn't studying that thing also, but my major degree was in mechanical engineering only, ma'am. So when I got to know this mother thing that this observatory would be coming up, and ADM sir called me that कि हाँ देखो ये वाली तुम्हारी observatory बनने वाली है पंचायत हिल में जाओ एक तनुश्री मैडम है उन्होंने इनवाइट करा होगा तुम जाओ देख के आओ कैसा काम चल रहा है वहाँ पे और कुछ जो भी सपोर्ट हो वो सपोर्ट वगैरह प्रोवाइड कराओ So, sir, that I went to that hill. It was like, it was a beautiful track also. It was like a, if we go by track, it would be like a 2 kilometer, 2 hours trek kind of thing. And then the path is also like so very beautiful. It has one of trees grown from both on both sides, and it can also develop as a good astro-tourism site. And then we also discussed with this on with ma'am that if some matlab, on points to points some matlab, like when we were in Masuri, that there are some sites where these some small yet telescope are there so that everyone can view this. That's it, like from one stage to another stage to another stage. And at the final top, we would be having a great observatory. From there, people will be able to see directly into the space. So, sir, and ma'am, I think this initiative will cause the people in this district and in the surrounding region to develop uh, uh, like we have to do uh, for the growth and development of this science and astronomical sciences. So, ma'am, with I also got to know from the ma'am that with collaboration with the university, will be also training these young researchers and students from the district. They will be taking around approximately 100, and it may grow to more numbers, but I feel it will be a start from at the starting point with a good initiative, so that the people in this, the students in this district would be greatly benefited from it. So, ma'am, sir, I've been here for last 3 months. I've visited various schools. I've seen students have lots of interest to do many things, but they don't have uh, the direction or kind of facilities that that can help them to reach their goals. But with the support of administration and the institutions, if they can provide such facilities to the students, then I think it will be very beneficial to the students of this district. And these students, they some are like very bright. I would have tested their in basic mathematics and science, and they will be talking. They're like students, we have general idea that students from the government school will not be like on par with those students from the private schools. But for some students, it is not true. I've been to being met those students, and they've been performing exceptionally well, ma'am. And I think, ma'am, if they get enrolled in this program, they will do better in this field also, and may in future will contribute to science and astronomy as part from the India. To and if necessary support they get, maybe they can also now contribute in the book of Nobel prizes. Thank you, ma'am. With this.
Thank you very much for the nice words. Now we prepared a brief video, as director mentioned, on the journey of SN Bose National Center for Basic Sciences to reach this point where we are now. I'll just play the video. Please enjoy it.
SN Bose National Center for Basic Sciences is an autonomous research institute established in the year of 1986 under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The center is named after the pioneer physicist Professor Satyendra Nath Bose, who is legendary for one of the most fundamental conceptual contributions on quantum statistics. The center has emerged as a major institution for research and development in basic sciences, specifically in the area of physical sciences and related disciplines. In parallel, the center has also made a new move to contribute in the application driven research, particularly in the areas of national needs. One such area is observational astronomy. During the last decade, the scientists at SN Bose Center realized that the eastern part of India is devoid of any major astronomical observatory. That led to a decision to explore the possibility of establishing an astronomy observatory with a 1 meter class telescope in this part of the country. Following up on that, researchers at SN Bose Center undertook the exercise of identifying a relatively dry and high altitude astronomical site. Based on a study of the available topographical maps, weather data, and satellite imagery with Indian Meteorological Department, they found that Panchet would be a suitable site for establishment of the observatory. It is a 600-meter hill. Being located at the western part of West Bengal, it is a relatively dry site with low humidity and water precipitation. The weather conditions during November to April have low humidity and low temperature, making them appropriate for astronomical observations. Overall, about 160 clear nights in a year are available at the site. Most importantly, it is devoid of any significant human intervention. Thus, it is free from disturbances generated by human beings such as light and air pollution. With an added advantage, there already exists an approach road from the foothill to the hilltop constructed with stones. The researchers of SN Bose Center then proceed further to collect more precise and accurate atmospheric and astronomical parameters of Panchet Hill. The first development in this aspect was the acquisition of the land at Panchet Hilltop. An application for acquiring 2 hectares of land at the hilltop was submitted in April 2012 to the Forest Department of the Government of West Bengal. Meanwhile, several other required activities were performed by the center and also by the concerned office, such as survey work at the proposed site, preparing a DGPS map, and identifying alternate land for afforestation. The Stage 1 approval was granted in October 2014. Subsequently, the Stage 2 permission was approved in November 2017 by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, and the State Government of West Bengal in favor of conversion of 2 hectares, that is 20,000 square meter or 4.94 acres land on the hilltop of the proposed site to divert and build the astronomical observatory in favor of SN Bose Center. The Governor of West Bengal has also accorded the approval under Section 2 of the Forest Conservation Act 1980 for diversion of 2 hectares or 4.94 acres of forest land in favor of SN Bose Center for setting up of the astronomical observatory at Panchet Hilltop. The land was demarcated with RCC pillars in 2018. The scientists of SN Bose Center then went for a full-fledged plan for the measurements of vital atmospheric and astronomical parameters. However, the onset of COVID-19 affected the progress of the work substantially. In December 2022, a weather station was installed at the hilltop that continuously measured the weather parameters, like the ambient temperature, humidity, rainfall, wind speed, and wind direction. The data shows that November to April, roughly 6 months, is the best time for observations as the temperature and humidity remain low. The scientists of SN Bose Center started measuring seeing at the site. It determines the goodness of the site. Low value of astronomical seeing implies a better sky condition. They used SAM2 that observed the pole star. The seeing value obtained from that place was better than 1.3 arcseconds, which was highly encouraging. In March 2023, a mobile observatory was built up at the hilltop for installation of a robust seeing measuring instrument named as Differential Image Motion Monitor (DIM) system. The DIM system consists of a 12-inch telescope with an aperture mask with 2 holes and a back-end camera with fast acquisition and was installed at the observatory site in December 2023. It became fully operational in November 2024. It is encouraging to see that the DIM measurements match well with the measurements of SAM2. Obtained results show that the seeing value at the site is better than 1.3 arcseconds. Thus, the weather data and seeing values established that the site is good for setting up an astronomical observatory. For regular operations of the telescopes, 2 staffs have been recruited and a base camp has been set up. Several other developments were also happening in parallel. The center signed a memorandum of understanding with Siddho Kanpur University, seeking their support in regular activity at Panchet Hill. SNBNCBS would like to thank the members of SKBU for their continuous support in this project. Meanwhile, Director Deans and Registrar of SN Bose Center made several visits to the hilltop along with the astronomers and faculty members of SN Bose Center and Sidhu Kanho Birsha University for discussions. Recently, SDO Raghunathpur also made a kind visit to the observatory site and provided suggestions for further developments. Very recently, on 18th December 2024, the astronomers of SN Bose Center installed a 14-inch scientific telescope at the mobile observatory. The corresponding telescope is in the testing phase and will be used for several scientific observational projects. Together, all these activities culminate in the moment we have gathered here to celebrate the inauguration of the Panchayat Observatory. The scientists are diligently working on the installation of the 1-meter class telescope, which stands as the prime aim of this project.
So now I would like to invite Professor Soman Mandal, who has been involved in this project in its initiation, to say a few words. Project.
Good afternoon, respected dignitaries, Professor B.N. Jagtap, Sri Vishwajit Sir, UK of DST, Additional Secretary, Professor Pavitra Kumar Chakraborty, Vice Chancellor of Sidhu Kanhu University, Sri Vivek Pankaj, SDO Purulia, and our Director, Professor Tanushree Dasgupta of SN. And of course, guests and invited faculties from prestigious university and associate colleges and administrative department of Purulia. So I want to say some few important words that the formation of the SN Bose Astronomical Observatory that started during 2021. As our director mentioned that it was first is presented during that GB meeting of the 2021, when that Professor Ramaswamy was our GB chairman. That time, first time when I presented his proposal to the GB, then Professor Ramaswamy mentioned that it is a very good idea, such kind of creation of the facilities, because it can duplicate in many IITs, such kind of, and we are seeing that such kind of facility is going to be in many IITs like IIT Indore, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur. They are already creating such kind of facility, and Professor Jagtap itself knows that there is a good facility that team is running. I must mention some of the important points that we are getting wonderful support from the Forest Department of Government of West Bengal, Government of India for establishing such a nationally important project. They are enormously support every time when required. Our, of course, local support from the SQU University with this flow is quite rewarding for our project time to time. They help a lot during establishment of the weather station. Once it's required, students come there to help them. And it is like also their faculty members, particularly, they are also quite enthusiastic to join this project. I'll not mention too much on the why we select that Panchayat, because already as told in the video, it has, of course, I must have mentioned that it has a really dark sky and dry site. Whatever we looked at satellite data that time during application, and no human habitats through our new instrument, we proved that it's really true that whatever we expected, that is our, it's quite encouraging for us. Observatory project with a large telescope facility not only advances what Sri Mr. Sai mentioned that it will not only scientific research advancement but also supports that socio-economic development of Purulia. Particularly, students are being encouraged to explore careers in astrophysics, astronomy. This will be the first astronomical observatory facility in the eastern part of India and have a 1 meter class professional and international standard facility. This is our plan actually. The facility will foster national capacity building in human research, scientific research, and innovation in technology development. This facility also fill that longitudinal gap that we have seen in the video that most of our observatory are built in the either northern, southern, western parts of India. Of course, there is this some logic. There will be lots of many area within the northern side and southern parts of the India. Recently, India is making significant contribution in astronomy in the big way. Several world-class telescope facilities either created or participated in recently through the government of India support, particularly from the DST and Department of Atomic Energy jointly. And one of them, some of them must mention that that DST Institute, the Geospatial Research Institute of Observation Science, they created 3.6 meter telescope at Nainital that is actually maintained by the of DST. Similarly, we have that giant meter radio telescope that is also indigenously built by the NCRA TFR and it's running at the Pune. And 2015, India has launched that first space-based observatory for the country by the ISRO. AstroSat is still running and is producing data, and lots of students is using such kind of data. Several middle-class telescopes have been built recently also. Among them is the 1.3 meter Deostal first optical telescope at the Nainital by Erich, 1.3 meter telescope J.C. Bhattacharya telescope at the Kabalur by the IIA. And this actually facility will be the added advantage in the eastern region with that kind of facility. The scientific motivation of this project is the quite fourfold problem in astronomy, astrophysics. We are studying from the star formation, transient object, GRP, supernova, extrasolar planets, the black hole, whatever the interest with the NASA astronomers. NASA experts also join in this time to time. They give science to us. With this inauguration of this facility, we can join the civil national and international collaboration in time domain astronomy and tangent research. So, in last couple of years, we made significant progress in establishing the observatory project with the Hale Power Center, and we hope that our submitted funding proposal for the 1.5 meter telescope allied infrastructure to the DST will be realized soon. So we are thankful for all support from my colleagues, experts, students, and administration from all concerned departments of SNBO's Forest Department and also SKU, all the physics department and students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Mandal, for the general overview of the project. Now I would like to request Dr. Ramkrishna Das, another faculty member from SNBOS Center, to say a few words. He is also associated with this project since its initiation. Dr. Das, please.
Very good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries, delegates, invited faculties, students, and other guests. I'm privileged to get this opportunity to say something on this very special day as one of the investigators. So as we have already learned from the previous speeches and videos that we are working to establish a professional astronomical observatory with a 1 meter class telescope facility. So as my previous speaker, Professor Mondo, mentioned that this is going to be the first professional kind of observatory in the eastern part of India, and which is very much required for filling the longitudinal gap. So the purpose of this telescope is not only to do science, but also to train the manpower, the students, and to spread science awareness among the common people. The project started sometime in 2012. So as we know that such kind of projects, educational facility, are established at a remote place, far from the madding crowd, where there is no disturbance. So it is not a very easy job to execute such type of project at a very remote location. So there are many academic involvements, there are many administrative jobs in the project. So the task is not very easy. So initially, there are many hurdles. So initially, we used to go by walk to the hilltop. So it would take around 2.5 hours. We used to start at 10 a.m. and reach the place at something at 12:30. And we used to stay there up to 4:30, and it would take another 2 hours to come down at the foothill. So in that way, we worked for quite a few hours and executed several inspections, several survey works, and to get necessary data for required for the project proposal. So after demarcation, after getting the land approval for the land and the demarcation of the land sometime in 2019, and the COVID situation became normal, we started scientific activities sometime in 2022. So initially we started measurement of the steam atmospheric parameter at the foothill. Then after getting a reasonable good result, we decided to go up. So then we selected another location at a height of 330 meters from the mean sea level. Then we get something better result of less than 1.8 Earth second. So that motivated us to go to the top. So then in the following season, we went to the hilltop and start measuring with the small string measurement. So and we got a very good result and less than 1.3 Earth second. So of course, there are fear factors. There are wild animals. The jungle is full of pythons, wild boar, different kinds of snakes, and other animals. But that could not stop us. So night after night, we used to stand in open air under the sky and work till dawns. So that time there was no facility, there was no shelter, no electricity, no mobile network, not even the food. But we continued to work. So I'm really happy that today, after a lot of hard works, we have been able to complete the first phase of our project. And now we have two telescopes. One is a 12-inch telescope and the 14-inch telescope. The 14-inch telescope is a professional robotic telescope, and it can be used for scientific, real science observations. So we have planned to use this telescope for observation of bright objects like and transient objects like novae, supernovae, gamma ray outbursts, some variable stars like this. And for this purpose, we will gradually install required instruments like CCD camera, spectrograph in the coming months. So apart from the scientific observations, we have few other plans also, like offering a course on observational astronomy, where the participants will be taken to the hilltop and will be trained using our facility. We have also planned to install small telescopes for the common people, where they will be shown the sky and will be given some general knowledge. And also we are planning to submit a DSP seat proposal where the data from our instruments will be used. So for what we have achieved today, we are thankful also and for the support received from our colleagues, experts, scholars, and administration of SNBNCBS Center, Forest Department, and especially to Shidukanu Vishla University. So So the planet structure may look small, but as Neil Armstrong, after landing on the moon, said that a small step of a man is a giant step of mankind. So I believe that with your help and support, we will be able to put a larger telescope and it will be used for the benefit of the science as well as. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Das, for the nice words. We also invited Professor Sumak Rai Chaudhary, distinguished astronomer of India and former director of IUCA and Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics. Now he is Vice Chancellor of Africa University. But he is very keen to come here, but he could not make it on time. He is on his way to come here. But he sent a message. I'll read the message. I'll read the message on his behalf. The message is, we are here to acknowledge and celebrate an important event for both the academic environment, for this region, and for Indian science. The Department of Science and Technology has empowered SNBNCBS to set up the first major modern astronomical observatory in eastern India. India has become an international superpower in the field of astronomy and space sciences. This is also the age of international collaboration. The coming decade will see rapid expansion in the study of transient phenomena, the celestial object that rapidly changes on timescale of minutes to hours. For this, one needs observatories at all longitudes, since when there is night in eastern India, it is daytime in USA or in Japan. Having good facilities to observe the sky in eastern India is thus very important. It is also very important to train young people on modest size telescope facilities before they go on use the biggest telescopes in the world. Facilities such as the one we are inaugurating will also help generate interest in an already popular subject and also help us assess the future promise of sites, such as these for future facilities. I have been involved with this project from its initial conception in some capacity or other. And even though I cannot attend this occasion, I'm happy I will be able to on the site tomorrow for the inauguration. Many thanks to the center for inviting me. Would also like to thank Professor Rajodhuri for these nice words and remarks. So this is the end. Now I'll call our registrar, Fanny Mojumdar, registrar of our center, to make the closing remarks and to conclude the session.
Respected dignitaries, delegates, invited guests, representatives of administrative departments, faculties, and scholars of SKB, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a privilege for me as Registrar of SN Bose National Center for Basic Sciences to be able to deliver this vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion of inauguration of the observatory site at the Panchet Hilltops, an endeavor made by the center to make its footprint in the domain of observational astronomy in Eastern India. In the beginning, I would like to thank Sri Vivek Vishwajit Sai Sir, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor DST, for coming to Purulia all the way from Delhi amidst his busy schedule and encouraging us for this project. Sir, it is indeed a privilege for us that you are here amongst us today. Our heartfelt thanks to Professor B.N. Jagtap, Governing Body Chairman, SN Bose National Center, who has lent us his continuous support and encouragement in setting up the observatory site. We'd like to thank Professor Shomak Rai Chaudhary, Vice Chancellor, Ashoka University, and also a member of our academic research, Academic Research Advisory Board, for his encouragement, and I hope to see him tomorrow at the site visit. I also take this opportunity to thank all the members of the governing body and the Academic Research Advisory Program Advisory Committee for profusely supporting our endeavor. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Shibu Kanubisha University authorities and the faculty members of the Physics Department, without whose support and cooperation this project would not have started. My special gratitude to Professor Pavitra Kumar Chakraborty, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Nochiketa Bandyopadhyay, Registrar, and Dr. Shubhal Chandra Deo, Controller of Examinations, Shidukanu Vishwa University. A special thanks to Dr. Chiranjeev Bormon, the main coordinator and nodal officer between SN Bose Center and SKB University, Dr. Adhendu Shekhar Patro, HOD, Department of Physics, Dr. Shushanto Kumar Mondol, and Dr. Sanjay Kumar Mondol. Our sincere thanks to Sri Vivek Pankaj, Sub-Divisional Officer, Raghunathpur, Purulia, for being present here and gracing the occasion. On behalf of the center, I would also like to extend my heartfelt acknowledgement to the different officials of the Purulia administration, namely Dr. Rajat Nanda, DM Purulia, Sri Rajesh Rathore, Additional DM LNR, Ms. Nivedita Mahato, Zila Shabhadipati Purulia, Mr. Sujoy Banerjee, Shaho Zila Shabhadipati Purulia, Mr. Bitul Sarkar, CCF Southeast Circle Forest Department, Ms. Prabhasha Palvi, DFO Kamshabati North Purulia, and Mr. Pavitra Kumar Sinha, BDO Nitulia Block. Our sincere thanks to the various dignitaries and guests who are present here today and to the students and scholars of SKB. A big thank you to Professor Tanushree Shahadas Gupta, Director, SN Bose National Center for Basic Sciences, Calcutta, whose leaderships and guidance has made it possible for all of us to gather here and make this project a viable reality. Professor Anju Bormon, Dean Faculty, Professor Amitabu Lahiri, Dean Academic Program, and Professor Rajiv Kumar Mitra, Dean Administration and Resource Generation, Professor Shunandan Gangopadhyay, HOD, Department of Astrophysics and High Energy Physics at SN Bose Center, all of whom are present here today. To my faculty colleagues of Department of Astrophysics and High Energy Physics at SN Bose, Professor Shoman Mondal, Dr. Ramkrishna Das, and Dr. Taposh Bagh, principal investigators of this project, and to the PhD scholars of the Observational Astronomy Group of SN Bose Center, who are implementing this project at the site with great enthusiasm and zeal. We also extend our gratitude to colleagues at SN Bose Center, some of whom are present here, and to the others who have not been able to attend but must be watching today's program through live streaming. We'd like to thank members of the press and media who are present here today to cover the program. Last but not the least, I'd like to thank SKB University for making all the arrangements for this inaugural function. Thank you very much for your presence.